Your partner has finally filled their tags, proudly bringing home what seems like endless amounts of meat that now fills your freezer. Now what? At Hooked, we realize cooking with wild game might seem intimidating. So, we're visiting with everyday people inside their kitchens to bring you easy, tasty wild game recipes everyone can enjoy. In this episode, Justine Stewart meets up with Hooked cook Carrie Butler, a busy Montana wife and mother who is the ultimate minimalist with her ingredient list.
Turn right onto Essex Street. Then the destination is on your left.
There's just something about driving through quaint Montana neighborhoods that makes you feel good. Food and drink is always on hand to welcome guests. You just have to be game to try what's on the menu.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Rule number 1. When someone invites you into their home, never show up empty-handed.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I realize it's only noon. I brought you
You did
a bottle of wine.
I honestly thought I might need the wine. Before I arrived, Carrie told me that Mountain Lion fajitas was a menu option.
I'm gonna do elk burgers.
Elk burgers? That sounds good.
With jalapenos and goat cheese.
I guess the wine can wait. Let's get into the kitchen for some real talk and cooking. Carrie grew up around hunting, but she never actually hunted or cooked with it for herself until she met her husband, Jason.
I'm gonna chop up the jalapenos. I don't really remember ever having ever having the opportunity to learn from somebody. And so it was kind of just you just kind of do it and figure out what works and what tastes good, and how to use all that meat in the freezer.
Her advice, keep it simple. And these elk burgers are just that. She starts off with about a pound of ground elk meat in a bowl.
So I chopped up the jalapeno into like pretty fine pieces. You don't want them in huge pieces. So now I'm just adding it to the bowl with the elk meat.
Next, some goat cheese. I love Carrie's style. Just eyeball it.
I'm not going to use the whole package. I'm going to save a little bit to smear on the top of the burger when it's done. I'm just going to dig in here and start mixing the meat with the jalapenos and the goat cheese with my hands. Best way to mix.
Once it's mixed, you can make your patties.
The thing with elk is that because it's so lean, it's not going to shrink a lot.
Once the patties are formed, you can add your favorite seasonings. For this Hooked cook, it's Alpine Touch seasoning.
We'll put that on. I think it's a Montana-made thing. Pretty sure it is. It's just salt and pepper, and it's got some garlic in there. And yeah.
Carrie says elk burgers are great on the grill, but today we're staying inside the kitchen.
I'm going to do these in a cast iron pan just on the stove. We'll put probably some butter in there.
While we waited, it got me thinking. I've tried so many times to cook with game meat. Most of the time, I just don't like it.
I think that the best way maybe to start with wild game is to just stick with like the recipes that you already know and the things that you already like. So if you're not trying like these crazy gourmet meals or whatever, but just if you like spaghetti, then try it with ground deer or ground elk.
About 10 minutes later, the burgers are done and it's time to dig in. Bun, no bun, toppings, it's really up to you.
Do you want anything on yours?
Do you know what? With the goat cheese, I think I'm going to go ahead and just be like a purist too.
Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like the goat cheese will kind of make it okay. Like I can tell that it's not beef. But it's not supposed to be beef. It's not supposed to taste like beef.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
Just try to get it out of your head that like it's weird and it's different, and just be open to just trying something new.
To give these burgers a try, check out our website at hooked.com. All recipes can be found under Hooked Cooks.